You're always going to just have like negative people. It shouldn't be something that you should take personally. And like, if you really believe in something and if you really want to go and do something, like you should be able to go for it.
We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
How great I am.
If you're some man, what the rock is.
You want first place, come play with me. You want second place, go somewhere else.
Let us sing forever. Let us play forever.
Wake your ass up. Awaken the beast inside.
Yo, what's up? We're back. For everybody like roasting me and Mo saying that we don't record, it's because we're trying to get amazing guests for you, and today we have an amazing guest. I'm gonna tell you a small story before I introduce her. I was actually at Square One with two of my friends, and I'm walking. Square One had like booths around the mall, like near Apple and like H&M, and I'm walking, and I'm like, our guest says hi, but I felt so rude because I didn't feel. As I was trying, so I stopped. I'm like, hey, how are you? It didn't click, exactly. So you guys heard her voice. Her name is Sada. Sada, I want to introduce you to the Waste Podcast. Everybody, please welcome Sada. How are you?
Thank you. Pretty good. Doing well. How are you guys?
I'm doing well. I'm hoping that introduction was good because I was kind of stressing. I even forgot I was about to record today. But to give you a small introduction, Sada has a business, and I would love for her to like introduce herself and again, the floor is yours.
Yeah. So my name is Sada, as Osama mentioned. I am the founder of the Kiwi Scene. We're a superfood-based skincare brand. We just literally recently launched like in November, which was a couple weeks just after or before I met Osama at the Square One pop-up. It's a nice, like, little slow-moving train. I'm really into skincare, and I just this was something that was started in COVID, as a lot of us kind of like started things during COVID. Yeah. Started in COVID. Well, a couple months before COVID. Let's be real. I just and it kind of grew a little bit over the 2 years, and created a product that I really loved. It's our only product right now, which is like the rejuvenating Kiwi serum. And yeah, we finally put it to launch, and I'm really excited. So far, we've been getting pretty good responses from our customers and stuff. So I think we're moving in the right direction. Hopefully this year we'll be able to release a few more products. But yeah, that's basically what I do.
Where can they find this account? Shout it out right now.
Yes, the Kiwi Scene. You'll find us there. We're pretty small, so
small but a huge impact. So
Mighty.
I'm gonna do, guys, is like exactly. I'm gonna shout it out on my story, and you'll see it. So please go follow her, go support her, and yeah. So I guess I want to start off by saying, before I even ask you a question to the fans and to everybody, is like one thing I liked is like your enthusiasm. Because I remember that day, the first time I met you. And I stopped and I was talking to you. I sense how passionate you were about the product. Because I remember because everybody, like, there was one person I spoke to earlier, and I guess she was just trying to sell me 24/7. I'm like, don't sell me. But when I was talking to you, like, you were just like more informing about the product, and like you were asking me questions, like you were obviously checking my mannerisms and how interested I was, and like things like that. Because I remember you asking me one question, like, do you have dry skin or do you have oily skin? I had no idea. Till this day, I don't have no idea.
I know. You can always tell when guys like don't use skincare. Like, guys, he was so confused as to how he was supposed to try it on, and it was a full on. I was like, okay, This is what you do, but it's okay. Exactly. All guys are like that. It's fine.
Honestly, it was a moment where my friends were like, you don't use skincare. I'm like, I'm the only guy that doesn't use skincare. I went that day contemplating. I'm like, you know what? Maybe my Christmas gift should be skincare.
Exactly.
Hold on. But anyways, I was gonna ask you a question. You said you started 2 years ago, right? So like, what?
We technically did, yeah.
So go from there. So like, to tell me from where you started and like to the point to where I met you.
So over the past 2 years, honestly, I've just kind of been working on it. Just from home, like we're just trying to formulate. So I had to do a lot of research into skincare. I used to work in the skincare, business for a little bit. And it's honestly like a pretty big passion of mine. And so it just kind of started off as like a fun little project for myself, like just learning a little bit more about like formulations and how to create formulas. I'm no chemist by any means. I don't know anything about chemistry. I did do chemistry in undergrad, but that doesn't that did not come into play here at all. But didn't need to use my organic chem knowledge at all. But yeah, so that's really kind of where it started. And then started getting into like I bought ingredients. I started like formulating and then testing and then reformulating and testing. It was a lot of that back and forth, and that's literally what took 2 years. And at the same time, I'm like trying to create a website and branding and all of that. So I did all of that by myself. When I finally got a formula that I really liked, I started having it tested by a bunch of people, friends, family, coworkers, like just anyone who was willing to put this kind of stuff on their face. And yeah, like, so it was doing well, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, you should totally start selling this. Like, I think it would be great. And I still kind of have that, like, it's weird when it's like your own thing and you're like, oh, I don't know if people are actually gonna like this, but alhamdulillah, like it's been and then when I met you, I was 6 weeks postpartum, and I wasn't even sure if I wanted to like launch yet, even though everything was technically ready, but I just didn't know if I was like ready for it physically. And then I reached out to Run the World Summit, who were doing that pop-up, and they're like, oh yeah, we have like one spot left. And I was like, okay, maybe we should launch. So I literally, like 2 weeks before that, I just started like posting on Instagram, and we started to, I was like, okay, we got to have some sort of momentum so that we are able to go to this pop-up, so that people at least kind of maybe know the name. And so yeah, that's how we ended up in square one. But it was like, obviously nobody knew who we were, and it wasn't, it was more, I was taking it honestly more of like a learning experience, as well as like just trying to get the word out there, trying to understand if we were even going in the right direction. And alhamdulillah, like based on like responses that we were getting from customers and people that were interacting with the product, I was like, okay, I think this actually might be a good thing. And like, so that's basically what happened.
Honestly, it's interesting because I think like, I guess I have two questions. My first question for you is like, what do you think is the hardest part? Because transitioning from 9 to 5, and maybe still working 9 to 5 or like a sometime part-time job, to like an entrepreneur is a huge transition. Like because again, you're doing it on your own. There's so many things you have to learn. So what was for you like the hardest thing, like the transition to, like whether it's building a website or like videos or branding? What was the hardest thing for you, like they had to learn?
Well, obviously at the beginning it was a lot of like, it was a completely new field. Like this is not what I studied. I did not do chemistry and all that kind of stuff, like the technical aspect of it, like I don't know much about. But it was a lot of like research and a lot of like finding this kind of information where it's like, okay, how do I formulate at home? And yes, the internet has information on anything. Like you can literally teach yourself anything from from how to fix cars, or like how to create skincare, or whatever it is. You can literally teach yourself whatever you want. It's just like having the time to actually like dig in and like find that information, and like and so personally at the beginning, that was probably the hardest thing. Was like, it was a lot, like there was like a million, I had like, it was like 30 plus volumes of like different like so it took a while from like the beginning to like what I have now. It is a completely different product. And then now the issues that I'm having a hard time with is like just social media. Like, who knew social media was like so tough and difficult? Like, honestly, like people who do it as for like a living, like good for you. Like you guys are pros. Like teach me a thing or two, please. So now I'm just like entering this phase of like, okay, Instagram algorithms, and like how do we maximize like on videos and pictures and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, so I think that's for me. I think everyone's going to come across like different, it's all difficult relatively, I think, but it's just like you just gotta for some people, some areas will be a little bit, I don't know, easier. But yeah, for me, definitely it was like the beginning with like formulating, and now it's kind of like social media and how to get through the whole world, because there's just too much noise.
Also, to add on to your point, I think one thing would be is I'm assuming like find the right formula for like that works for you, that connects with you. And not even connects, but I guess it just works, and it's like something that is healthy.
Yeah, something that actually like you can put your name behind. Like I didn't want to just like put whatever and be like, hey, yeah, this is great, but I actually wanted to like 100% believe in it. So
Honestly, the one thing like I'm looking at your website right now. Like the one thing I like about your website and like, the whole branding is like it's like soothing. It's like it gives you like like
Oh.
Caribbean vibe, Bali vibes, like in the summer. Like
Summer,
I'm just look
exactly. Thank
like
you.
it says like introducing Kiwi centered skincare. Like to me, it's like
Oh, love it.
yeah. Honestly, again, I might get into skincare now, guys. 'Cause,
I
like,
think you should. You know,
I'm
the
taking care of
Senex
my
very
hair.
important.
The thing is with me, I think excuse me, with all guys, I think you guys can agree with this. I guess like ego thing is like, no, I don't want skincare. For me, just like I never once like bought skincare products. Like my mom had like my mom was telling me, I don't know why I'm exposing myself, but my mom, she's like, yo, you gotta
It's
get
okay.
some new
It's okay.
shit.
We're family here.
Exactly. She's like, you gotta get some new shampoo, and I'm like, man, she's like, your shampoo's not doing you justice. And now like yesterday I was out with my friends. I haven't seen them in a while, like in 6 months. They're like, yo, something is nice about your hair. Like, what are you using? I'm like, no, I'm not sure no more.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
But
hilarious.
yeah.
And honestly, I don't know why it's just such a like taboo for guys to use skincare. Like it's not like I remember having this one guy who came to my booth and he was like, yeah, like I'm not, I don't tell anybody that I use anything. I literally, if I'm searching up like skincare, I will go like incognito, like
Yeah.
just so that I don't even get like ads for it and things like that. And I'm like, that seems a little bit much. Like, what is so bad about taking care of your skin? I understand
Yeah.
that skincare is like mainly like targeted towards women and a lot of
Yeah.
like, you know, when you walk into Sephora, it doesn't really feel like a male kind of can like, you know, hang out there.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, like the one thing about like, and this is a question I want to ask because like I know like and it's kind of related to what you were just saying. Like your packaging is also really nice. It's not too feminine, nor is it like I think like for me, I would actually have it. Like as because I think a lot of guys when they look at skincare products, like for example, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
this is just for like Slaughter guys. You're not gonna see this video unless I post it up. But for example, like this cologne, for example, like I think guys, the only thing we use for skincare is cologne, right? It's like it has to
Yeah.
look a certain way, almost the image.
Yeah.
But for me, when looking at your product, I think a lot of guys, like again, I'm gonna be a buyer. Trust. Now you might convince me to like take care of my skin. I just gotta find out if I'm oily or dry. Till this day, I have no idea. But my question is like the branding, like how, like of your product and like the imaging. How long did it take you? 'Cause you said 2 years. Like how much of the 2 years did you spend on like designing the product and how you wanted it to look?
Oh, it was probably for sure like over a year. Like that took a really long time because I wanted it to feel a specific way. I wanted it like you mentioned, I wanted to kind of give you like that summery vibe, very like free, very like fun. But at the same time, I also just didn't want it to be like super feminine. Just because I'm not like super feminine, so I just wanted it to kind of like almost be like an extension of like my personality and like who I am. And so yeah, that probably was the most difficult thing because like let's be honest, how many shades of green is there possibly like in the world? Apparently there's millions. And it took so long. It took me so long to like find the shade of green that I was like, okay, I think this is the one. So yeah, so no, there's a lot that goes on behind branding for sure, and the fonts and oh my gosh, yeah. Let's
Well,
not
the
get started
fonts,
on that.
like you know, it's funny you said you started in quarantine because technically this podcast started in 2018, but I would say the new rendition of it, like the new beginning, actually started in 2020 in May, end
Yeah.
of May. So it's like, to me, I think I want to ask you, like, it's kind of like somewhat off topic, but somewhat similar. Do you look back because a lot of people look back at quarantine or the corona, like they look at bad times. I understand like we were locked down, but you obviously found your way to utilize your time and like, you know what, I'm gonna utilize this time, open this business. So how much do you think had it not been for corona giving you that time and effort? Because a lot of us, like we stayed home, we weren't even able to do anything. So you spent a lot of that time. So how important was that time, those 2 years being locked down to able to develop this product make it come to life?
Honestly, I think that Corona just really put into perspective things that are like it really forced everybody to like slow down and put into perspective like exactly what is important in your life. And that's not just in terms of like, you know, like weddings, for example, where like you used to have like weddings that are like 300 people, 120, whatever it is. And like now it's like weddings, even Arabs, like, you know, come on, like Arabs have pretty big weddings. Now people are like, it's like very close family and friends. It's like 50, 100 people max. Like that's it. And it's just like, you know, you just realize that like you don't need to have like a gigantic wedding to like be able to have a happy marriage, or like and that was kind of like the same thing. It's like you were forced to like slow down and like just, I don't know, like rethink life as like intense as it was. Like, and so yeah, so I think for me it definitely was it was like was the reason why I actually was able to start this. Was like, okay, like I'm not doing anything and I don't want to lose my mind, so let's look and try to learn something new. So yeah.
Here's a question for you. Speaking about like, you know, all this kind of passion stuff, if there are 3 words you want people to resonate with your brand, what are those 3 words? So when they think of the Kiwi scene, what 3 words do you want people to like resonate with?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I want people to feel like they're part of a community. I think I want people to feel like they're represented. And I just want people to think that skincare is just fun. Like, it doesn't have to be something that is so like, you know, it feels like a chore some days because like, you're like, okay, like I want to go to bed, but I have to like, you know, take off all this makeup and whatever. But I think it's just like a way for us to like just, you know, it's like the first moment in the morning and like literally the last moment at night where you just want to like, I want people to just like go do their skin, do this whole skincare routine and just feel like, you know, the world is silence. Like your issues are like not there for like a couple of minutes. And it's just like a lot of like just your time, like just your me time to like take care of yourself and show yourself some like respect and some love. But yeah, I also just wanted this to be something where it's like community based in the sense that like you know, yeah, I'm creating something, but I would also love to hear like what customers are saying and what they're hoping to see. And like, I want them to feel like they're part of like some kind of like a family. I always say that we're like a Kiwi family and it's, on a lot of like my content. So I just want it to feel like there's like more of like that connection, that we're all connected to each other and obviously to feel represented. Like I haven't seen a lot of Muslim hijabis that are represented in skincare, and so I kind of really wanted to like bring that to light as well. So I know we're doing better, but there's a long way. There's still a long road.
You mentioned Muslim hijab, and obviously like even like I want to touch on like women entrepreneurship, right? For you, like what's the one thing you want to set out for like all these young girls, the people even around your age or in this generation, that like what's one message that you want to tell them through your brand? Because a lot of people like starting a business. It's not the easiest thing to start a business, especially because like I'm assuming you probably got like negative feedback. It's like, what are you doing? Like, stop this. What? Because people I think always insinuate that with school is guaranteed, but at the end of the day, school is not guaranteed, nor is a business. So like, what is your message to these young girls who are like trying to open a business, but they're scared because they feel like they're gonna get so much negative feedback?
Yeah. Honestly, I think no matter what, like you're always going to have these people, like these trolls. They're always going to say, you can't do it. Or like, you know, you're always going to just have like negative people that are just like, I think at the end of the day, I think it's just, it shouldn't be something that you should take personally. And like, just, if you really believe in something and if you really want to go and do something, like you should be able to, like you should create that space for yourself and create that support for yourself and just and go for it. Like there's nothing, you're not losing anything. So yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, like I love it when I see Muslim women actually like doing it, like aside from school, because school to me is like one thing, but to see businesses and being able like brands or stuff like they're able to create makes me happy for a lot of reasons. One, because I spoke to like one person I went to school with and she has a gym brand, and I remember I told them like, because she was kind of feeling down, I told her I think it's impactful what you're doing, because like this is around the same time in Corona and she started it, and I told her, I'm like, you have to understand that a lot of people who are dealing with their health issues and who are like self-conscious about their body. So I'm like, by you posting videos being vulnerable, showcasing that is really important. That's why when I see Muslim hijab, I really get excited. Like Muslim men, happy for you, but it's just like
you're not visibly Muslim. Like that's the thing. It's like
that's what exactly.
We're visibly Muslim. Like people know who we are. They know what we believe in. So it's just like that extra, you know.
And that's
barrier.
The point. Like and that also that's why I'm saying, like you wearing the hijab, and obviously like it's like for you, someone could look at me and they won't even know I'm Muslim, even though I have a beard. Like they won't even know. They'll think I'm like Italian. Some guy thought back when my hair was up to my shoulders.
You could totally, yeah.
someone thought I was Italian. He started speaking to me in Italian. He's like,
I could
"Oh,
see
yeah,
it. I could see
talking
it.
to you." And I'm like, "Yo, I don't. What are you talking about?" I'm like, I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yo, I've been talking to you in Italian this whole time." Like, I don't understand Italian.
I
But
could see it.
but for most of her, like, honestly, like, I commend you, respect you, because obviously, in the end of the day, is like, I think, and I say this like in the most respectful way. Obviously, like, I think when it comes to business, entrepreneurship, it's always like guy dominated. But it's seeing Muslim women who are strong, who are like they're not stepping down, like it's almost like you're swimming with sharks, and you're not even scared. To me, that makes me happy because one, it shows that it makes the Muslim community a lot stronger, and two, it shows that so much creativeness. Like for example, and my next question was gonna be about how you came up with the name. So to see how yourself included, driving a wave to like set these standards for young girls, even young boys as well, and they're able to look at you, it's like, wow, I want to do that. To me, that makes me happy because at the end of the day, I think we should be more of a community and make ourselves stronger, as opposed to and I don't know why, again, Muslims do this. Stop hating on each other. Always support.
Oh my gosh, 100%, man, 100%.
I always see
totally
this like,
feel
oh,
that.
yo, like I could do better. I'm like, then do it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. If I could get any criticism, it's definitely usually from
Muslims.
Muslims. Yeah, unfortunately.
You can't get. It's like two sides of a coin. You can't get it. You're gonna get one side at least once.
Exactly.
And those trolls like on TikTok, especially those haram police. I don't know, like haram police. Hey man, like, why are you doing that? I'm like, go relax, chill.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Alhamdulillah, like so far, I think just because we're still pretty small, we're not like out to the public yet. But I mean, we'll see. I think as people like grow, for sure, that's kind of where you like attract more of that, like,
But your goal is to
negativity
go
for
like,
some reason.
what is your goal? Like, where do you see yourself taking Kiwi
Oh my
scene?
gosh. If I could be at Sephora, that would be pretty freaking fantastic.
Sephora, if you're hearing this, if anybody from works at Sephora,
Yeah,
get
fam.
the Kiwi scene there.
Yes, please. I'd love that. But yeah, no, definitely. I think an end goal for us is definitely. I'd still love to be working on this as well. I don't think it would be something that I would.
Like, you don't want to sell. You want to like
sell? Yeah. No, I definitely want to work on this.
You shouldn't. It's your baby.
Yeah, it is. It's like my third baby. So that's how I'm seeing it. Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna ask you a question. First of all, two questions. Is kiwi your favorite fruit, and how did you come up with the kiwi?
You know
seed?
what? You know what? It actually is. Kiwi. I love freaking kiwis, but like Canada, there's just like not good. There aren't good kiwis here. Like they're too sour. But anyways, but yeah, no, kiwi actually is my favorite fruit. So it's kind of funny that it's actually turned out like that.
The entendre.
Yeah. But yeah, the kiwi scene, I don't even know. Like honestly, there was like a list of names. A lot of them were like super generic, and I was like, I'm not really feeling this. It was like something to do with like superfood. Or
What are some of the
like,
names you came up with before you came up with the kiwi scene?
I think one of them was like indulge skincare or something like that, and I was like, that's not the vibe. That's not it. But it was like that for a little bit, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't like
really?
that. And then yeah, well, I mean, before I launched, but it was all that's kind of what we were.
I actually like your
I had
name,
my
Kiwi
husband.
scene. You had your husband, what, sorry?
He was also like brainstorming with me, and he's not
really?
a creative one, but he did his best.
Finding a name is actually one of the hardest things. I'm not gonna lie.
It's hard. It's
Like,
hard.
I remember it took us a while to find our name for like our podcast, and it took us a while.
No, I love it. It sounds great. But yeah, like I think at the end of the day, like it was just a lot of like playing around, and yeah, I would like stick with the name for a couple of months, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't like this, and then try to find like just whatever, and I just wrote a lot of like words that I wanted. I wanted people to like, I don't know, that might jog some kind of thing in my brain. But it was like superfoods, skincare. And then I was like, oh, we're doing something based like kiwi based. So I was like, okay, kiwi. I was thinking of even doing something like Arab at some point. And I was like, I couldn't, it didn't work out.
The Khaltos would have came at you. He's like, hey,
Yeah, I know.
from like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah. So true. Yeah, no, it did not work out. So I was like, yeah, okay. So the kiwi scene just somehow organically, just came about, and I was
It's
like,
actually a
I
unique
like
name
this.
because usually when you hear like skincare products, not that I know anything by the way, because you said something earlier. This is why I don't do skincare. Sorry, before I go to my point, it's because you have to like before you sleep. I'm just trying to be in bed. I'm not trying to like put like some of my face on my head. That's why. But I was gonna say, I forgot my point. Holy. This is bad.
Before you go to bed, you want to go to.
No, shoot. Wow, this is horrible.
That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry about it. It'll come. It'll come to you.
Yeah, I guess it will come. I was gonna ask you a different question. In the meantime, my thought will come. I was gonna say, do you have any like? Have you like right now? Are you working on different other products, which is like I don't know, like new products which are working on like to put in the market?
Yeah. So one of the things that I really wanted to focus on this year was number one, pop-ups. I think that's just kind of where we get the best, best outcomes is going to pop-ups, but also to release like a couple of new products. So I asked some of our followers kind of like what they wanted to see next and what are some like holy grail skincare that they like skincare products that they like use that they can't live without. And so I was like, okay, all right. So moisturizers, cleansers, that kind of thing is just seems to where people are really are kind of like really using every day. So then that's kind of what we're going to focus on this year. But I also just found that there was just like a lot of like I don't know, it just seemed like just a lack of like knowledge or like education about like skincare and what you should be using and why it's important. Because like I could have people like coming to my booth and be like, yeah, I don't need skincare. And I'm like, well, you might not need it now, but your skin will definitely thank you in like 5 to 10 years. So, so it's just, and ingredients as well. Oh my gosh. I think that's kind of like the biggest thing is, people just don't know like what skincare, like ingredients that are in your products, what they do, why they're there. And I just found that like, and I really wanted to focus on like, especially when I'm at these pop-ups is like education. Like this is why you need skincare. And this is why these ingredients are in this product. And this is what this is what you're going to benefit out of all of these ingredients. So when it was kind of a lot of like, I've had a lot of people that like leaving my booth, whether they bought or not, they were like, wow, I actually learned a crap ton about why, about something that I didn't think was that important. I was like, no, of course it's important. You're putting it on your face. So.
But why do you think, like in your opinion, guys or girls have like the education on skincare is not there?
Honestly, I think are just like the world right now and just because of social media, it's a lot of like, oh my gosh, you have to get this product. Like, look at what it did to my skin. You're gonna, if you, and then it's just a hype builds up around like some product and then everybody just goes and buys it just for the reason that it's just like a hype. Like that's all that it is. Whether it works for you or if it doesn't, like they don't even care. Like they'll just go and buy. And so like, and I've been victim of that. And I'm not even gonna say like I'm 100%. I've done that. 100% done that. Makeup, skincare, whatever it is. Like people are like, oh my gosh, this looks great. And I'm like, yep, I'm buying it. And then I get it and I was like, well, actually, no, this doesn't even work for my skin tone. Great. Okay, fantastic. So I think that's just kind of a lot of where, skincare and makeup is just like there's a hype built around product and people just kind of like go buy and like blindly and not really like fully understand like what their skin actually needs and if this is even going to work for them or not. So so I think a lot of it was I felt like I was like, no, I want this to be like a very transparent, like brand, very minimal brand. Like, exactly what's going in your products, what each ingredient is there for, whether it's going to like directly benefit you or is needed for like the integrity of the formulation. Like, that's all just really important. And I found that, yeah, there was, when I was talking to customers, like that was, yeah, definitely not the case.
But what was your cut like? 'Cause, like, yeah, I know you like obviously you had you were at square one, and how was the customer feedback when people come to you, people who bought or people who tried? Like, what was the customer feedback if they came to you and told you about their product?
Yeah, honestly, the feedback has been really, really good. Like for something that had launched, I think like 2 weeks before that. And like, it was kind of like, obviously the first time like interacting with it was pretty good. And I was really happy with the feedback that I was getting. A lot of people really liked the texture, how it felt on their skin. Some people would like put it on, they'd go walk around their mall, do whatever. And then they'll come back and be like, yeah, no, I'm getting it. Like this feels amazing on. And it was a lot of like, it was just more of like the interactions where it's like, I'm really not trying to sell something. I was really trying to like get, just kind of like build a relationship. Again, at the end of the day, I'm like brand new to this. Like I really was trying to like get just trying to get like real reactions. I wanted to see exactly how it was going to feel. And that was kind of my favorite thing about pop-ups, was like I was actually seeing customers react with it, because it's different when people are buying online. Like I'm like, please leave us a review, like let me know what you think and whatnot, and they don't. But I take those reviews like very like I really want them. Like I want to know the feedback. I want to know how we're going to do better. So when I see that, like obviously with customers like actually reacting with them in front of me, it's a different story, because like now I'm like, okay, like I can tell like, their expressions, or like how it's actually like sitting on their skin and that kind of thing. And then also if I can tell like based on like looking at their skin, like if they've got really dry skin, or like, or oily skin, or like sensitive skin, or acneic skin, or whatever it is, like I can at least kind of like relate a little bit of like, what the product might be able to do for them. So yeah, I think that was the best part.
I actually just remember when one time I was at Sephora again, maybe like a couple days after, and your booth was still there. And
oh yeah, we were there for a week. I think I saw you, but you walked so quickly by. Like I didn't even get to say hi. So sad.
I wanted to say hi to you, but then my friend, because my friend who was with me is not the type. He's not a social guy. Like he's just like, I'm social when I'm able, because the podcast. So now when I for example, when I ask people. So now if I see you, for example, I'm gonna go say hi, because like one, like we like build a relationship. Two, I want to go support you. Like if a customer is there, I'm gonna tell them, hey, buy that product. I'm that type of guy. I'm always like hyping people up. I was there, and I just remember just seeing like so many people around your table. I'm like, I'm not gonna go like distract her. I'm just gonna wait. And yeah. But I would have came to say hi. Like you were so nice. Like when I first met you, I'm like the passion, the way you were excited about your product, and
you guys were a fun bunch to talk to for sure.
Honestly, hey, I respect that. Like, forget my friends,
I mean,
but, like me.
No.
that's all that matters.
That's hilarious. No, I think it's always nice, because then you end up feeding off of like someone, like the person's energy, like whoever you're talking to. So someone that you're talking to is just like, so like blah and like just really not interested. I'm like, okay, well.
The reason I remember that when I asked you that, I'm not sure if it sounded believable to you, but I remember that same day I met you, I was actually on the phone with my co-host Mohammed, who obviously is not here, and we're like, yeah, we want to get more like women entrepreneurs, like more like female people in their industry, and even like more international people. So we're kind of like listing out who we want to get. Yeah. So then like when I talked to a few people, but I don't know why when I just spoke to you, something within the first 2 minutes captivated me. I'm like, I have to get this.
That's no way. So sweet. Thank you.
Like at this point, I'm like, there's no way I have to get her on, because I'm like, to me, I'm like. Because obviously, like like a lot of these brands I never heard, except for like this one brand, because her husband was on my podcast like a long time ago. Like it was called City, I think. She was like way further down. Yes. Yeah, her husband. Yeah,
she's an OG in the small business space.
Yeah. Honestly, like, because I met them off of Clubhouse, but I remember like she didn't even recognize me, because like I look so different. Like my hair was from here at one point when she first saw a picture. Now it's like my hair was really long. My mom was like, cut that.
For sure. I mean, like, how long was? I'm surprised that you were able to grow it that long.
I'll show you. Also, I can show you just a quick picture before. And
yes, please.
But essentially, like when I met you, I was like, mashallah, like you captivated me so fast. I'm like, I have to. And also because I thought your brand was. I was surprised when you told me it was like it launched really the past couple of weeks. I was really surprised. And I'm like the packaging, the logo, and I'm like, I think also, you being like new to the game, and like again, as I said, like you're swimming with the sharks, but you're not really scared, like you're fearless, like you want to go after. And you just said to Sephora, if you're listening, make sure you catch the Kiwi soon.
Yes, please.
Here's my hair.
Yeah, we're here. We'll be here. Oh my gosh. Wow. I mean, how long did you have your hair like that?
So funny story. When quarantine happened, this was
everyone's
March.
blaming quarantine. Yeah,
March. So like my hair was never like, my hair right now is like, it's like a white boy phase. Not even white boy phase. It's gonna stay like this forever, and there's a reason for that. It used to be like a fade comb over, right? Back when that's how I would get it cut. Now because my hair is naturally like thick and like soft, I just started growing out like this. So in my head I'm like, I'm just gonna let it grow. I'm not gonna go get no cut. And obviously, like, COVID is like, no one knew how the impact really was if you can get sick. So as Andrew Tate says, the Matrix. And just playing. And yes, I let it grow, and I think it grew from March 2020 to March 2021, and it got really, really, really. And I've never had my hair that long. And then my mom and my sister were like, "Khalas, it's okay. You gotta cut it."
It's over.
They hated it. But I gotta say, I don't know how people sleep with long hair. It was getting annoying. Like I could not.
Of course.
It was getting really annoying. I was
Then
like,
you have
no
to have a
way.
whole like hair care routine. You gotta tie it up. You gotta moisturize. You gotta do your thing. But that's
Well, actually, the thing is, I wanted to do a man bun. My mom was like, "You are definitely not doing that." I'm like,
no.
yeah, that's what I wanted to do. And then like now this is my hairstyle, which I prefer more.
I like it. I think I like this more. Yeah.
See, I appreciate it. Like my sister hates on this, but you know what? I gotta go tell her,
Really?
like the guests, my friend. Every time I tell her, I'm like, "Yo, people say it's sick." She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, you know what? I don't need your opinion.
Is
bro.
she younger than you?
She's younger than me. Like my sister's 1 year younger than me, and I have a brother who's like, he just turned 25 in December, and he's like 3 years younger. Because I turn 28 like next week. Funny enough, after the podcast drops, I turn 28.
Ooh.
And so we're getting old here. That's why I'm
happy
like,
birthday.
thank you. I
That's
appreciate
really
it when this
exciting.
podcast comes out. But yeah, honestly, like, so for skincare, what's new? I mean, what should the people expect going forward from Sara and the Kiwi scene?
I mean, I'm really just playing it by ear. Let's be real.
Tell them the key ingredients.
But yes. Oh, yes. So yeah, we could talk about that. So the ingredients that are in, so we just have our one product, which is just the rejuvenating Kiwi serum. So we really wanted to create something that was like super hydrating, super plumping, like just feels really great on the skin, and also has it was really rich in antioxidants and great for your skin barrier. So we've got kiwi seed extract, green tea extract, and aloe vera. So these are all rich in antioxidants. They have a buttload of benefits as well. Kiwi seed extract, obviously being the star ingredient, is like high in vitamin C and vitamin E. So it helps like brighten your skin, help protect your skin barrier against environmental stress. So when I say environmental stress, it's things like pollution, smoking, UV rays, that all of those kinds of things have a really big effect on our skin. And as we age, our skin is just not as good at getting rid of those free radicals. So what ends up happening is like the free radicals kind of like cause the aging effects on our face. So when you have antioxidant rich products, they actually help kind of like combat that a little bit. And then we've also got hyaluronic acid in there, and two other like really powerful humectants. So glycerin and propanediol, these are all natural humectants, and what they literally do is they pull moisture from the air around you, lock it into your skin. We've also got niacinamide, which is vitamin B3, so that also helps with like brightening and hyperpigmentation and skin texture. There's literally like 8 ingredients in the serum. We obviously, because it's a water-based serum, there is a very small percentage of a preservative as well, to make sure that it's actually safe for you to use. That's mandatory. A lot of people, I think, with the day and age, it's like all preservatives are bad, but it's like, no, you cannot possibly have a product like this without a preservative. And so or else it would not even last 2 days in the fridge if you even kept it in the fridge. So definitely mandatory. But yeah, that's basically what it is. Like the texture is it's really, really nice. It's got like a very like nice slippery texture, and sits really well like into your skin. Your skin literally drinks it up like it's a glass of water. I think that's one of like the nicest thing about it is it's not sticky, it's not tacky. Your skin literally drinks it up. It leaves like a nice velvety finish to your skin. So yeah, that's the Kiwi scene for you.
Like, I guess I got one more question for you before we end up. Before you came up with the ingredients, right? Like, were you doing research on like other? Obviously, I'm assuming you were doing other research, but like when you were doing your research with other, I guess serums or like even like skincare products, but were there certain ingredients like when you were reading it, like I don't want this in my product?
Well, like I wanted, honestly, at the end of the day, I really wanted something that was like very minimal. A lot of the times when you're looking at skincare ingredients, like the list is just really long and people like really don't know what it is. I really wanted it to be more of like a natural, I wanted to create more natural products. Obviously there's like ingredients that you don't want in your skincare, like sulfates or parabens. I didn't want essential oils as well, obviously, because, or fragrance or anything like that, just to make sure that all skin types can use it, including sensitive skin or acneic skin. I just didn't want to have like people that like would, and also the different like ingredients, there's certain percentages that like at some point they start to get like almost irritating to the skin. For example, like niacinamide, that is like the only like active ingredient in the product, and so and it's very, very good for you. However, if you've got sensitive skin, if you've got like acne prone skin or sensitive skin, at higher concentrations it can actually like start to cause like irritations. And so like I wanted to be aware of that as well, so I have it at like a very mild like percentage to make sure that like all skin types are able to use it. So it's not necessarily like I really wanted this to be something that was very minimal, like very straightforward, not a whole lot of ingredients that are in there that you wouldn't really know what they are or what they do. So
Honestly, well, I'm happy for I'm happy to like that you're succeeding this far, and I cannot wait for what you're gonna do in the near future, inshallah. And I know that you're gonna take the Kiwi scene global, and it's gonna be huge. I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Inshallah, I genuinely do really mean it. And I was gonna say, I appreciate you coming on, speaking with me, and I had a blast.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
Honestly, it was a blast. Like, guys, I
want to do this again.
You're gonna come back, inshallah. Honestly, for real, because I also want you to meet the co-host. This man is like work. Yeah. I gotta go see his work. I'm like, yo, you're gonna miss an amazing guest.
No worries. It's okay. I'm sure we'll meet him soon.
We're gonna bring you back, inshallah. The next time you're back, you're gonna be global. Inshallah, we're gonna be in talks with Sephora or in Sephora. That's the goal.
Yes, love the energy.
And guys, please go make sure to check their website at the Kiwi Scene. Go follow her. Go follow Sada on the Kiwi Scene, and make sure you support them. Go share the reviews and go buy their product. Is there anything else you want to end it off?
Thank you. No, just thank you. I'm honestly really appreciative of people who kind of give us like space to like talk about our businesses, no matter how small. So I just want to say thank you to you. This has been honestly this has been a blast, and I've had so much fun.
You guys thought we were done? I don't think so. We still gotta wrap it up. Please follow me at Kusa300. Follow my co-host Muhammad at Muhammad.global. Make sure to follow our page at Instagram. Also, make sure to subscribe to all our platforms. We drop every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Thank you. We'll see you next week.